If you've played Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for more than 2 minutes, you know that there are 3 main modes: Campaign, Multiplayer, and Zombies. Underneath the Zombies button, there's a bonus menu for side modes that didn't quite fit into the other 3 menus. These bonus modes include Dead Ops Arcade 2, the sequel of Dead Ops Arcade from Black Ops 1, Free Run, a parkour time trial mode, and Nightmares, the forgotten Call of Duty mode. Nightmares is a mixture of the campaign and zombies modes. The gameplay loop is identical to that of the campaign. It's the same stuff: shoot a wave or two of zombies, exposition while an NPC teammate walks as slow as humanly possible to hack a panel by holding their arm in front of it, rinse repeat. Every few rotations of this, a boss fight happens for no reason in particular. After a few rotations of this formula, the level ends. The zombies in this mode are a complete cannon fodder. They have little to no health, die in one melee, and aren't even a threat in larger numbers, unlike the zombies in the real zombies mode, aka the only reason people still play this game. There is one aspect of this mode that is better than its counterpart in the zombies mode: max ammo. Max ammo automatically reload your gun in this mode, which doesn't happen in the main zombies, which is actually, considering this feature is something the fans have wanted for more than 10 years, and when Treyarch actually implements it, it's in the mode nobody plays or is interested in. Also, when you get hit by a zombie, your movement speed slows to a halt, which almost guarantees you get hit again and possibly die. The mystery box in this mode isn't objectively awful, but for whatever reason I hate it. It just has that air around it, you know? Also, I was playing this mode on my Xbox once a few years ago, and I swear, when I hit the box, it would cycle between models that weren't even weapons. Like, there were whole buildings in there. Back on the subject of gameplay, the levels are bland and uninteresting to a point where they can all be described in a 5-word sentence. They don't look awful, they just don't have any soul behind them, probably because they were all ripped from the campaign. That's all I have to say on the gameplay and design. Now on to the presentation. The menu for this mode is actually promising. It's definitely better than the multiplayer and campaign menus. This menu is not a sign of what's to come though. For some inexplicable reason, this mode has little to no music.
We were impossible to infect. We were trained to terminate the undead.
This is an awful decision, considering even generic music could have at least added some kind of immersion or distraction from the bland levels and gameplay loop. The lack of music really shows the player how soulless this mode is. I'm surprised this mode got past the original pitch. The voice actors and characters in this are somehow more robotic than the actual robots in the game. The characters don't actually talk at all. The narrative is done through narration from generic cyber soldier protagonist number 935 and generic interrogator number 115. The dynamic between these two narrators are obviously supposed to resemble the dynamic between Mason and Hudson from Black Ops 1, but instead of greatly written, suspenseful conversations between a brainwashed soldier and an angry interrogator.
Reznov's dead, Mason! Did you hear me? He's dead! Weaver's right. We're out of time. The Russians fucked you up. I know you!
It's just the protagonist telling the same man shouldn't play God pseudo-intellectual story everyone has seen before, while the interrogator just kind of sits there and asks boring questions that are only there because the writers don't know how to write segues between subjects. Speaking of awful segues, here's my thoughts on the story. As I've stated before, the story of this mode is the exact same cookie-cutter humans shouldn't play God story we've seen a million times. The basic plot is that the protagonist is in some kind of purgatory and is retelling their experience being a dead killer.
Dead killers, we were called.
A term so self-explanatory that I'm just going to leave a moment of silence here so you can soak in how bad it is. Where was I? Right, the protagonist spends this story telling someone in this purgatory about her experience being a dead killer and finding the source of the zombie outbreak or something. The characters are so bland, I don't want to put in the brain power to know what's happening. I know it ties into the actual campaign, but I don't really want to play that either.
Train go boom, train go boom, train go boom, train go boom. What do you think I'm gonna say next?
I only played this mode to tell strangers on the internet about it. On a final note, I honestly have no idea why they would make this mode in the first place. They barely advertised it before the game came out, so you know nobody was going to play it. I really feel like they could have not made this mode and brought more effort into the actual campaign. If I had to rate this mode, I would probably give it a 0 out of 10 considering it has no soul or effort behind it. The game easily would have been better without it. If you like this video format, please tell me in the comments and like the video. Constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. Have a good day. I'm out.